Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show from St. Augustine, Fort Myers, and Miami.
Ahoy.
Yay! Anyway, it's the Mike O'Mara Show back from our fabulous cruise aboard the MSC Seaside, and we want to thank everybody that participated. What a great group of people and a great audience as I believe as the show works its way towards doing live events for an audience of 6. I think that's eventually what we will be doing as we'll be doing, it was an intimate gathering where I feel as though at least half of the people that were on that cruise I now know by facial recognition and by name, which is kind of cool. I wish I knew everybody. I don't. Sometimes I get reminded and I'll hear a name that I recognize, but we were on the cruise ship. We had a great cocktail party on Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon we did a fabulous live show, and then Sunday we had we had something. Not quite sure what it was.
Now that game show night with Rob High.
You mean what I will refer to as the disaster?
I don't think it was a disaster.
I don't think it was a disaster.
Well, you wouldn't think because you contributed to the disaster.
No.
I wouldn't call it a disaster either. It was a total shit show.
I don't think
it was.
so. I think it was fun.
I do.
And,
when you lose the room,
lighthouse.
to a laser show on a lighthouse halfway through the event.
Well, and that was coupled with a long announcement.
Yes.
And then a long announcement in Spanish.
Well, the
that
long
muted our
announcement,
microphones.
the long announcement occurred, I think, after the initial. Let me explain. All right, let me get this up. First of all, we had a great time on the cruise, and I think everybody was highly entertained from start to finish.
Yeah.
But it just the gambling and the game show were, for me personally, 2 events that I found a little bit
Now
challenging.
What's funny is the game show night. I had a couple people come to me and say they were shocked Mike showed up to the game show night,
Right.
and that Mike was in a great mood during the game show night. And
Right.
third,
At the beginning,
surprised how many people how many names Mike knew.
That's good. That's good.
So that was all-
that's
it was all
that's
good.
true. But let's start with we'll start with Josh. With the buzzers that this is and Josh will agree this is squarely under you get what you pay for.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I was not going to do the Temu buzzers because they might melt getting onto the ship.
Yeah, or take
So-
the ship down. I wouldn't be surprised if you started a Temu buzzer. The ship would just take water immediately.
So I went with buzzers.
So what the initially we were playing the Family Feud.
Yes.
After
And you know what?
trivia.
Family Feud?
yes.
The buzzers were purchased for Family Feud. The buzzers worked perfectly for Family Feud.
They did, actually.
No, they did.
No, they
what
did.
the?
They did.
I can tell you. I know you two are buddies, but what the show were you
they
listening
did.
No,
to?
They did
They
for
did
Family
work.
Feud.
You
They
couldn't
did.
hear them,
But you could see them.
but they're
And they
made.
lit up.
That's why they're called buzzers, because they have to be heard. They can't. They couldn't be heard, and I didn't know.
At one point, Mike said, "Why don't these things make noise?" Then he presses it and hears it.
No, but you couldn't hear it in the audience.
You
could
could not
hear
hear,
it.
you could
This
not.
is what you heard if you were standing 3 inches away from it. And so I mean I
We
get it.
purchased
I get it. That was
we purchased classroom buzzers.
and you made
the
me laugh
cheapest
when you
ones-
said you got the cheapest ones we possibly could get.
Yeah, of course.
And it was a one-off, and that I will avoid that. Let's move on to I have worked with Rob Spiewak for 35 years.
True.
I have done live events with Rob Spiewak for a lot of that time too,
Many of those years,
and
yes.
nobody is better on stage because he loves to be on stage. In the 35 years I have worked with him, I have never seen a more disastrous performance than, I don't know, I assume it was substances, the gummy, apparently, that I don't know where to begin with the dry mouth or the
dry mouth was the most
hastily
upsetting.
arranged trivia or the incorrect trivia questions or the not describing what he was doing. The microphone style utilized by Ollie on Channel 5 in New York. Yeah. So what is it? What?
Right.
What is it? Yes.
Or doghouse is not on the board as a type of house. And then let's see the answers that no one said. And doghouse was there.
Yeah. One of the harder things, and I'll say this, whether you're high or straight as an arrow, is not being able to see the monitor for Family Feud. That was a little tricky. So, that was.
All right, hold on.
The TV screen, like the.
Yeah.
But you had all the answers on the paper, right?
You had
Or
the
on
answers on the paper.
True enough.
And this is why. Here's the thing, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but the reason our live show went the way our live show went is because of preparation. Preparation, knowing where we're going to go from point A to point B to point. Now on the live show audio, we almost had a disaster there too because the guys that were responsible for doing audio on the ship, which was prearranged by Josh, were how soon before the show did they arrive?
Prearranged by me, as in MSC said we'll take care of it, and they showed up 5 minutes after we were supposed to start.
And it was almost terrifying because we really, I was at the very end of the show. Can you walk me through what happened? Because I knew we had done a really great show. Yeah. And it was the first time it was the first time we didn't do like a stage show and we did kind of studio audience with the podcast. Right. And that's the way I wanted to do it. Yes. And then and after it was done, I said that's going to be a great show for Tuesday. And when you said,
well, there was this whole issue at the very beginning where the sound guy came in, and there's always a language issue with staff on cruise ships,
especially MSC.
Yeah, and the first issue
Josh,
was...
I don't think you're that hard to understand, but I know that we had to work through what we did.
Yes.
It was something else.
The first issue was the sound guy saying, well, I've never recorded. I don't know how to record. So then he got a manager, and the manager showed up. And then the manager was like, well, it can only record to these specific thumb drives. So then they had to find a thumb drive. Mm-hmm. Then they recorded the show, and they were all worried that an hour and 20 minutes would not fit on a thumb drive.
I remember that. Yes,
you're dealing with most of this. You're dealing with most of this on your own without us knowing what's going on.
At the same time that Mike is trying to start the show.
Okay, I thought that was going on.
We'll not stay in the green room because he keeps coming out and being like, "Let's just start."
Yeah.
Well, in the green room,
because we were supposed to start at 2, and then we were supposed to start at 2:30. Then we decided we're going to start at 3.
Well, no. It was always let's start at 3.
No.
Yes. It was we get the room at 2.
I was told that the night before we were going to start at 2.
That we get the room at 2:30.
Did you know this, Rob?
No. I thought we got I thought the show went off at 2:30.
No, the show had to end at 4:30.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have been a good reason to start it.
I believe that's how it was, and that's how.
I do know that the policy on the MSCC side seems to be that they have an event every 20 minutes.
Yes.
Somewhere on the boat.
We are no more relevant to them outside of the bodies that we put on that ship. As soon as those bodies were booked, we are a literal afterthought. That's the way it goes. But I really thought
there was one part where you were up at the table, and I went up to you and Rob and said, hey, we're getting this recording straightened out. We'll be ready to start the show in 15 minutes. And you will get up, you walk backstage, and then you come back 2 minutes later, like, let's start the show. Now, thankfully, by then we were ready to go.
Me?
You did, yes.
Yeah.
And I turned to Rob and I said, I thought I said 15 minutes.
But one thing that I will compliment Mike on is that when we were sitting there and we weren't recording, but you really can't sort of sit at the broadcast.
But everybody
table.
was down with the fact that it was going to be a live
it was
show,
great.
so it wasn't
Yeah.
the same as like waiting backstage.
No,
or
No,
something.
it was great.
and you did a great job dealing with the audience for that 10 minutes. You spoke with them. You explained what was going on. It was sort of a cool behind-the-scenes thing, and I think everyone dug that.
Well,
Yeah, it
after
was-
we determined that the beginning of the show would be 2:30, I said we'd show up at 2:15, correct? And that's the time we convened
Yes.
to go
we
over the
convened
show.
early.
Right.
To go over everything.
And then,
Yeah.
but anyway, we got all the recording going. Show went great. The entire show, I kept going over and watching the board to make sure it's still recording.
The audio was fantastic. I didn't check video. Did we have a video of yesterday? Did that?
The video got bumped.
Okay.
And then when someone went to fix the camera getting bumped and seemed to turn off the camera.
Okay, but the
So,
audio was
no.
fine, and we knew
Audio was- we knew- and
we
audio
wanted
was
to
what
do
we
an
want.
audio
Yeah.
show yesterday, so that was cool.
The camera bumper, would you suspect that was a front row audience member that bumped the camera? When the camera got bumped?
Oh, I dropped out there for a minute.
Yeah, it was. I think somebody in the front row.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we got the audio recording. I watched it the whole time. I'm the one that pressed stop on the recording at the end of the show.
Okay.
And then he hands me the USB drive, and there's nothing there. And I
That
handed
had
it
to be.
back.
What did that feel like when that happened? Because that really, the whole purpose of doing the regular shtick was to have a show to give to the audience on Tuesday.
Right. Everyone who's done a podcast before has forgot to hit record at some point or some
Or there's a
mistake.
technical difficulty
And there's
where
always-
you're finished. Yeah.
There's stress, and it's I'm like, well, at least it sounded great in the room.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to communicate with the guy what's going on, and he says the file's corrupt. And then I'm like, what? And I'm like, well, we've got the camera as a backup.
is
'cause I didn't
English
know
his
the camera
first
was
language?
knocked
The
out
guy that
last.
says the
No.
file is corrupt.
No. Then, like 2 minutes
As
later,
Mike, as a man said to me when I was in the Name That Tune Frank Sinatra contest, is a cheat. Don't look at your phone, is a cheat. Don't look at the video, is it corrupt. That's that's bad news, but
Yeah.
you have
But
to deal with it.
But then, by some miracle, he said, "Is it this file?" And it was.
Oh,
And I put
I
it
was
on my
up there when that
computer.
happened. I was standing next to you when that was
I hit
happening. I
play
was
on my
so
computer,
excited.
heard a little bit of Mike's voice, and said,
Yeah.
"All right, we've got it."
It was
So
such a gratifying moment when we
Yes.
found out we had it, because it was fun, and the fun, I think, translated. The only thing I would have changed is pop a microphone out into the audience, just a generic microphone. I've wanted that forever. It doesn't always translate that well, but really. Everybody had a good time, and I think we did a really solid show. We were very happy about that. The idea of the game show night was I don't know what was in your head or what was in your body that caused you. You appeared to be not quite, but almost to the edge of what appeared to be distress. It was because, by the way, with that sans gummy,
Yeah.
you are much calmer and much more together. With the gummy, you were a hot mess. I don't know
Yeah.
what was going on with that. What
You see, the
tell
weird
me
thing
about it,
about-
because it was strange.
The weird thing about the gummy is, and I heard this from people after the fact, is that you seem to be in distress up there. That's a good word for it. But to me at the time, it felt great. Yeah, the dry mouth, that was a very common remark.
You
Yeah.
seem to be laboring, is what I noticed.
MSC doesn't help us because they give us no time to set up, no time to test, and they don't keep people out. So before
That's
Rob and
right.
I even got in the room, half the listeners were already in there. So there
Moving
was no
chairs.
time to set up or test or try anything.
Yeah, and that
Mike-
would have been more of a stage show that night, even
Yeah.
though it was a cool room. The rooms are fantastic. I
Yeah,
mean,
the Seaview Lounge,
the
Mike.
room, all the lounges are great, and the Seaview, as Josh admitted, that's where they wanted us to do our podcast. Was much better for a podcast, but thank God we didn't, because in the middle of it, there's a 45-minute announcement that
Yes.
comes in the middle of the game show, and
turns
by
off
this
all the
time,
microphones.
and then the audience got got completely bored with and I attribute that to
I
so.
don't agree with that.
We
I think
did
what
not-
happened is everyone who
Rob,
went to
let
the
me
island
explain
club-
something. When an
right.
audience walks out,
No, but Mike,
yes,
here's what happened. When they went to the island, everyone on the island said, don't miss the light show that night on the
Yeah.
lighthouse.
I swear to you,
And
I
we-
heard it from 15
And that is
people on the
why
island.
we timed an intermission between Trivia and Family Feud to go see the lighthouse.
okay, all right. See, nobody shared that with me. See,
But
that
it
would have
was
been
a-
something you
wasn't-
might want to.
No,
know.
it
But
wasn't.
then again, I
Hey,
wasn't
look, something's
responsible.
outside.
All I was doing was heckling from the audience,
Yes.
and it was I thought my material was pretty solid,
Strong,
and
yes.
but I didn't realize this, and I probably wouldn't have, because you two would have discussed it.
I was just
with that.
impressed you showed up.
Well, see, I
knew he'd be there.
Right, we talked.
Well, I thought
you
it was
just
kind of
had-
my responsibility to heckle from the audience.
when
know?
you say
From the
your
beanbag.
responsibility, what it is, Mike, it's
from the chairs that are an inch and a half above the floor.
it was your pleasure to heckle. And
Yeah.
I knew that you were excited about it.
Yes.
And about the chairs, I had never really thought of the fact that chairs on a cruise ship have to weigh 900 pounds, lest they slip around and slide.
Not all of them, but yeah, as
The
some of them.
vast majority.
include.
Yeah,
And so when we showed up to do the game show and all of the super duper P1s were moving chairs to see better, there was a lot of struggling and huffing and puffing.
Yes.
And-
That was fun to watch. I liked
Same
that.
issue on the cocktail night as people tried to clump chairs together and they were
Yes.
even heavier.
They were
Yes.
so heavy,
God,
it was
they
funny.
were.
Here's the thing. So when you took drugs to
Yeah.
do the game show on
It wasn't
Sunday night.
for the game show. It was actually for the day.
Now-
To just sort of relax.
Wait a minute.
But,
You
No.
when did you take your gummy?
before we
Or
went to-
gummies plural?
No, I took the first gummy before we went to the island that morning at like 9:30. Because if you have like a mimosa or a Bloody Mary, that's the equivalent of
No,
that.
I was the same way as Rob. One in the afternoon, one in the evening.
You're both high.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
2 drug addicts on my staff here. This is
No.
this is crazy, you know.
You've got
Like it
someone
was
with
said when
anxiety
we
that's got to
started
talk
the
to
sh-
strangers.
When we started the show,
Hold
you
on,
said-
Josh. Is that why you take a gummy, because of the interaction with strangers? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Yes, it's I am not a people person.
I disagree.
That is exactly what it is.
that
Or
is
maybe
too
it is
funny.
just because I know you on gummies around people. I think you do great with
Maybe
people.
my favorite gummy moment though was one
Yeah.
evening we were sitting around, and I don't know how it came up, but Rob pulls a gummy just out of his front pocket and hands it to a listener. And says, "Here,
Wow.
take this."
But that happened more than once.
All right,
And if
back
you
to
know
your
the Soul
condition.
gummies, they're not wrapped or anything.
Back
No, no.
back to your condition at the beginning of game show, because I saw an amazing amount of licking of the lips and
Yes.
did you hydrate during the day at all? or-
Tried to, and also I had a bottle of water that went virtually untouched during the whole evening because I'm talking the whole evening. There's no chance to go and grab. Mike, I was able to get a sip during the lighthouse show because no one was there.
when the audience walked out. That's
When
it.
the audience literally
But
walked
as
to the
you said,
window.
the audience knew that was going to happen,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
were
exactly.
almost prepared. It totally changes the whole thing. I'm no longer going to accuse you of losing the room.
No, because they
Okay.
all came back for Family
I mean,
Feud.
Mike, you can't
But-
lose what you've never had.
I found you had the room at the beginning. You had the room at the very, and then it seemed to me that the errors, the unforced errors, if we're going to use the sports term.
Thank you. And can you define that for those of us who don't look at sports?
Unforced errors are errors that no one causes you to make. You just make them on your
They're
own.
your own. Okay, I got that.
And as the show progressed, my heckling went from being I've got to say things funny to being really passionately engaged with the heckle because I was dissatisfied with the performance.
One thing that stayed with me, and now it is Wednesday, days after we did this event.
Jesus Christ.
Are you certain that you've never called your house a center cape? Are you positive?
Positive. But
It was always
that's a minuscule detail. That's not even.
Well,
if
well,
that had
was,
been it,
that
if
was
that
the
had been
first
it.
error in the trivia. That
Oh,
was
the
problem.
trivia.
Well,
all right,
well-
let's talk about it. Before we did Family Feud, we did Rob Spiewak trivia.
Yes.
Which was just about the most tedious thing I have ever seen in my. I don't know whether
Disagree.
No,
I think the audience
people
loved
liked
it.
they let.
did.
When did you? Fine. We'll
Mike-
let the
Mike,
buddies
let's-
agree
let's
on
get
that.
back- let's get back to the real problem.
Okay.
Not enough Mike questions.
Well, that was also
When in fact,
a concern.
There were more Mike questions than Rob questions.
Okay. Well,
There were. I counted them.
My,
there
my
were.
favorite trivia
it's a good idea.
was where
Anyway,
was Josh born? And immediate answer is Baltimore. Rob says no, and then I'm just waiting to see where I was born.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The questions. It wasn't that if that had been the only issue, that would have been fine.
The
but it was
inaccuracy of the questions.
it was the questions were prep work. You prepared questions. It was not the main issue with the game show. The game show was up on stage. I was concerned, and I want to get back to
Right.
your state of mind, your state of physical health.
Health.
When you were, as listeners had mentioned it, as you appeared to be laboring a little bit.
Distress, Mike.
What was the reason for the distress?
I guess I felt the audience was not into it, and then you do get distressed, even though I knew to expect the lighthouse.
Was it the heckler?
The heckler was not it. Although when about halfway through the first segment of an event, when the heckler says, "Let's just end this," or "That's it, thank you, good night," that's not a vote of confidence. And perhaps if you are in a way where your mind has been chemically altered, even just an eensy bit.
Oh, I think it was more than an easy bit.
But it can get into your craw and stick because you're starting to think these.
How many
people are
gummies
against
did you
me.
take? Did you take one right before the show?
No, I took
No.
one in the morning and then one right before my day of beauty at the spa. And
Maybe
I did
that's
not
the
take
problem too.
Oh, then
to
maybe
doubling
you,
up?
Maybe you needed one closer to the event.
Yeah,
I'll
maybe I
give it. The
needed
next
more.
cruise we do, more show preparation and less spa treatments. That's
Mike,
my recommendation
The
for the
questions
show.
were locked in on Monday. I mean, I wrote them well in advance, and I liked all the questions. And I see the thing, you were never a Mike O'Mara show, Don and Mike show listener. You were always a principal. You didn't have to answer questions or pay attention to what minutia of the show. But
Well, I
the
couldn't
listeners,
if I was asked. I would have failed miserably, probably.
But as a listener, which is where I started, and as a marvelous listener, which our audience was, they sort of relished the obscure stuff. And I think they really enjoyed the question. Questions were hard. They were very difficult. And I did that on purpose. There were some people didn't get.
All right,
So-
let's get to the technical part of the Family Feud. I stood next, at one point I was standing next to Josh because I was one of the contestants on the feud. Josh appeared to be taking his phone and
Here's the
showing
problem.
and putting he was shooting through the camera on his phone to
Yes.
the computer. It was not what I would describe
No.
as technically adequate.
No, it was
for-
working. Here was the problem.
It was
Here's
working,
here's,
Mike.
Here's what I was doing with my phone. I couldn't see the answers because they were so tiny at the bottom. So I was using my phone to zoom in.
Okay,
as a
I never knew
magnifying
what it
glass.
was. I never
Like
asked. I never knew
binoculars.
what it
Like
was.
binoculars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that I
Good.
could click, because we had on the first question where I clicked a couple wrong because I couldn't see it because it was so small.
Right.
Then I
Okay.
switched to the magnifying glass.
It was we. I think here's my summary of that night. I think cocktail party, wonderful live show, great job. Josh, you would agree we got lucky. that we captured it. We got lucky that because that could have been a disaster.
Yeah, I wanted
that's
to
something to avoid in the future. Maybe
Yes,
more
but-
redundancy to make sure we get it. If you're in charge and you're the main guy,
Yes.
we get it. And when there's no,
But
I
they
mean,
wouldn't let me touch the board,
they went
and they wouldn't let me connect things to the board.
and then running
then-
it through,
Right.
and
When
you're
you
not going to
found
bring our own PA
No.
on the
Right.
on the board.
But
When you
on the,
found the
ship.
corrupted file and then you found the good file, were they on the same thumb drive?
It was the same thumb drive. Yes.
So that's insanity.
All right,
That's
but
so bad.
but it worked, and thank
worked,
God it worked
yes.
because I was so happy
And Mike
with
was there
the way.
right when I found out it was corrupt.
Oh,
And
and
Mike
we-
was there when we found the file. So
It was
that
a
good.
joy, jump up and down, happy moment, and
And with the live show,
oops, we lost him a little bit. He's gone. Is he coming back?
I hope he
Hello,
comes
hello.
back.
I was so grateful that had happened because that was Josh. Probably have to disconnect, come back in for us. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you're having some issues. up there.
I got a new internet adapter, and it seems to be causing an issue. So I just unplugged
The
it.
weird thing, Mike, the internet adapter was actually installed by the audio crew from the MSCC side.
I think that they did the guy on the Friday night did a great job. They got there late, but it ended up being fine. So I give
fine.
them a thumbs up. And then what was going on in the room next to the room where we were doing the game show night? What was going on in that room? That room that appeared to be like a radio studio or something like that. Do you
That
know
is
what was
where- no,
that?
that is their radio studio. That's where they do
And
their
do they do their announcements? Oh, so the announcement was
no.
done by that lady?
It was not. No, that lady was not in there. That's where they do the pre-recorded announcements and the cruise videos on the TV and everything.
Okay, all right. So
That's why the lady always sounds so good, Mike, because
Mm-hmm.
it's pre-recorded and they can cover up any errors.
But I was saying about the live show, I really enjoyed beautiful video in front of a crowd.
I did too.
Well,
That was
the
so
next
cool.
time we do something like that, I'd love to have that, the whole shoot and match, and we'll do better. We'll figure it out how to do that. It's really gratifying. Our listeners know us so well.
They do.
They are so receptive. It's fantastic. And we had just a wonderful time away. And, in the case of bringing our families, that was a blast too, having my son. The one thing I wanted to make sure
did he finish his chocolate boat?
Well, Owen and Michael had the chocolate boat. I want to say that of all the things, of the top highlights of everything, Owen and Michael, there's no guarantee the kids are going to like each other. But I think your odds with 12-year-olds better than if they were 14 or 15. And these
dropped
kids
in that environment. I mean, there's everything to do.
And they got along so well. The night that we recorded the show, the 5 o'clock taping of the show, they were off. And then 2 hours after we were done, they were still gone. And they were they had a great time.
My favorite moment that would be unrealized by other people, Carrie and I shared this, is that after the live show, before the live show, Michael ran through and gave you his cell phone and said, "Here, Dad, hold this." And you said, "Okay," because we're in show mode, and he's off through the billiard parlor and gone.
Yes,
just like gone.
Yeah, that's what
2
I told
hours
you.
after the show, I come out of the room to find him because I have no idea where the hell he is on the show.
I'm walking on one of the unpopulated decks that evening, probably like one of the ones you don't have a reason to go to, like 5.
Yep.
And I see Mike coming. Not with anyone with him. He's by himself, walking rather aimlessly across this gleaming white marble floor.
Yep,
and
beautiful.
he's looking around, head on a swivel. And it's me and Carrie, and we say, "Hi, Mike." He goes, Yeah. Have you seen Michael?
Yeah. You don't get to see him in dad mode that often.
And then we say, "No, but we'll let you know if we find him." And then about an hour later, we're near the casino, and he walks by, and just like a sound effect in a cartoon, he says, "Haven't found him yet." Just going by.
And then
Zipping by.
the cool thing, on this ship is so huge, it's so big,
It's
that
ridiculously
there is an
big.
actual basketball court on it. And where was he? The very highest level, the very back of the ship. The only thing higher than the basketball court is probably the bridge of the ship, and and there he was standing in a soccer goal, having guys taking shots at him, sweaty as hell. And my love of the little athlete, I was thrilled that I finally found him, and that was one of the positives. Another amazing positive. I am lucky I didn't gain 10 pounds because the gelato.
I never made it to the gelato place.
Oh my
That
God, the
kills me.
gelato!
No,
We
me
lived
either.
at the gelato bar. We lived at the gelato bar. It was well. It's because, as I mentioned on Tuesday's show, it's not like I could hooch it around, and I had a 12-year-old with me.
Right.
And the bonding that Michael and I did was spectacular.
So
we had a fantastic time.
It was actually prearranged, wasn't it? That you wouldn't drink, so he could. Is that how it was?
Yeah, Michael could do all the margarita drinking. It was it was wonderful. Now, the one thing I will tell you, and this might be my issue with cruising.
Okay.
I am fine with, no, maybe I'm not fine with it. I'm not fine with being told what to do. I'm not fine
you get
with
it a lot. Yeah.
I'm not fine with rules. I'm not fine with lack of freedom of any kind. I'm not fine with going through metal detectors. I'm not fine with meeting areas. All this is on any cruise you go on. You're going to have staging areas. You're going to have times that you're supposed to disembark.
Right.
Now, the morning we leave,
I ignored all that.
I ignored all it. Josh, disconnect and reconnect with it. Oh,
Okay.
if you disconnect, do we lose anything, or can you do that? Can you go away and come
I
back?
can go away.
Mike, I'll say this as this being my third cruise, and the other 10 years before and 10 years before that was the smoothest disembarkation I've ever seen. It
Okay,
was really,
I
really
thought-
well done. Disney
did they-
even blew it
they
on
had
disembarkation.
a little-
How
they-
did you break the
Can
rules?
you hear me?
You say you ignored the rules.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me.
I've lost Mike now. Or are you just messing with me?
No, I'm not messing. Can you hear me now?
I don't hear Mike,
Okay. So Rob lost audio
and I don't
Right.
hear Josh.
by me going away.
Yes, he did.
I'll be
Yeah,
right
can you
back.
hear me, Josh?
I can. Yeah, we're
All right,
fine.
now he's going back. We're having a little. It's back. It's back to the regular grind here.
Yeah.
So, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. On the cruise,
Yes.
you are required to have a staging area.
Yes. Did you go to your staging area?
For departure, I did nothing of the kind.
Or you mean when you get on board, like the
No. This is disembarkation day.
Oh, okay. Well-
They're supposed to do it in times, right,
Yes.
with your number.
Yes.
And I blew that off. And I was out of
So
there
did I.
5. I was 5 before 7. I got into a big long line and got off the ship without any problem.
I was probably 10 minutes behind you.
Okay, and
Because
that's
I did the same thing. I did not give the crew my luggage because I knew I didn't want to follow rules.
okay. So if you don't give them your luggage, you can leave when you want.
Yes.
I
That's
didn't.
what I was told.
Well, I get that because I did leave luggage, and they
then you
were
had to wait?
I'm just maybe 2 minutes until they opened up the area where everybody's luggage was. But yeah, I would say that is a rule of thumb that I would adhere to.
Now-
Carry on essentially bags. That's
Now,
what you should use.
When you got on the ship, you were supposed to watch a video and then go to like a staging area and check in to be like, I know where to go in case of an emergency. Did you do that?
Nope.
Neither did I. But I got
probably-
notices
yeah.
every day that I was supposed to do that. And I said, well, I'm not going to do it today. I leave tomorrow.
Yeah, it was. I finally, maybe the second day, day and a half, I checked my credit card and made sure that was the right one to do. I did eventually probably glance at the safety video. I never went to the staging area. And then the day that we were supposed to wait, like they call people at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:25, and that type of stuff. And I just left with
Me
my
too.
kid, and we got lucky and felt good about that.
Well, you talked about the Disneyfication of everything you do. There's a line.
Right.
And
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy, everyone. Oh, she shut the door on you. Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
She's going out to the lanai.
Yes.
Even when there was no need for a line, they still had the Disney back and forth things.
Yes, they did.
I think that's the notion that as long as you're moving, you're going to not think you're waiting. You're waiting. But you are.
This is standard operating procedure on all these cruises. So all in all, really, I think about a 9 probably for every element of this cruise. The game show was a live show, wasn't recorded for posterity. It doesn't really, fall into that category.
Well, the reason the game show wasn't recorded, Mike, is the host was corrupted.
You were corrupted.
I was corrupted, and my apologies to all those who felt it.
If I may ask, just please don't show up for a regular show like that. That's
I
all
never have.
The best part about our listeners is if the three of us didn't show up, they would still have had a great time.
Yeah, they
right.
do. They're on autopilot.
Yeah.
I
can only make it worse. Thank you.
I would say I'm conflicted because of the rules and the fact that cruising in general, I'm conflicted. However, cruising with our listeners, I have to say that I would do it again. I would do it again. Based on the nature of doing the live podcast. I like that. We don't need to do a game show. We can do a cocktail party and a live show, and that to me is fine. And then maybe another cocktail party,
Would you do it again if it was just me and you?
No.
In one room?
Not a chance.
Now,
I think the experience was such that I was very happy with the cruise ship. I was very happy with the listeners. I love being the best part. Well, let's go through it. The best part for me, and I'll ask you guys too.
Okay.
The best part for me was something that I really didn't get as much of as I should have. I wish I had. The being at sea, looking at the ocean, being out there, watching the waves.
A full day for you to even get to the deck.
Because we were on the cocktail party was in a location where you couldn't see out windows. I just loved that. I loved hearing the ocean. I loved watching the ocean go by in the middle of the night. I loved all of that. That was number one for me. Number two would be bonding with my son and having a great time with him. How about you, Rob?
I loved the sort of unicorn aspect of wherever you went on the boat, you may see a listener. And it's someone you want to see as a rule. It was fun. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far.
No, it was cool because you could absolutely, stay away from people if you needed to, go to secluded places. And Carrie and I found a great place that no one was at that we could watch the ocean, which was sensational.
I could probably use this opportunity to for the post game show. Last night of the cruise gambling moment for anyone that was within a few feet of me, and a lady, maybe her daughter in particular or her friend, I'm not sure. I realized that I may have been a tad unapproachable, and
I heard
because
you kicked some people out of the casino.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I did nothing.
Told them to get away from you.
I did nothing of the kind.
He might have done some geographical reorganization.
They actually picked up on the vibe that I was giving off and moved over to the side. I'm not, Rob will tell you this. When I'm on a bit of a losing jag, I'm not there. My entertainment consists of doing the live show and doing the cocktail party and hanging out at the game show. When I'm in my self-hypnosis mode at a slot machine, my entertaining moments are over. And by the way, if you see me on the ship, I chatted with a gazillion people quite nicely. The moment, and even if I happen to be having a positive experience, I really kind of just like focusing on the
I'm
machine.
glad you said that, Mike, because I know you're unapproachable when you're losing, but I've approached you when you're winning and when you're breaking even.
Yeah.
It's always sort of a hey, this is my thing, leave me alone. And I appreciate that.
I do. I like to kind of do it on my
But
own.
you should never call a listener piggy.
No, you shouldn't, Mike.
When did I call a listener
No,
piggy?
it's a Trump joke.
It's a Trump joke.
He's rolling
that's
out
right.
all
Yeah,
his-
no. You see,
all of his prepared material.
I just was truly. I got out of there and in the
Did
nick
you
of time.
find, as I did, and maybe it was just me, the slot machines on that cruise ship were loose, man. Every poll was a win.
Nothing could be further from the truth, Rob.
How do you mean? How do you mean?
The group poll, I don't know. I don't know. It was, I give it a 10. Josh, we didn't get to you.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of the
my least favorite
experience?
was the food in the dining hall. Was really, really bad.
I
I
did
believe
one-
they call it the dining room, not the dining hall.
I did one night of that.
Well,
I did one night of that.
I did
and I'd
too.
love to see what it's like on another ship, to be honest with you.
It's the
Did
worst.
you get your drink yet, Mike? I know it's Wednesday, but
Jesus Christ.
that
Help me.
was Mike losing at a slot machine approachability when that drink was not there yet. That was not a good moment for you.
It never when did it show up? Seriously, what was the time
It never
frame?
did. You left.
It never did. That's right.
But you
yeah.
did call the waiter over and said you can cancel the drink,
Right.
Because I'm leaving.
Yeah, it
And
was.
then you did, yeah.
45 minutes to an hour, something like
Yeah,
that.
you should have
No,
did what I
that
did.
first
which-
night, it was so slow.
When you sit down at the table, Mike, what you have to do is you say, for you, it would be different, but I say, I will have a Coke and then another Coke and then a third Coke.
How many
Because
Coca-Colas did you have? Did you estimate on the
I
trip?
would say probably 4 a day. I mean, not many. I mean, that I could have really killed it, but the thing is that I saw the slowness.
I think he's got to double that.
Okay, 8 a day then.
I don't know. I know many times he would go and grab 2 Cokes and come back with one for me.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
have 4 a day. You're lying. You didn't have 4 a day. You had
Well,
9.
I did have
you
at
had
least
30
4.
a day.
No, I didn't have 30. Come now. You're being silly.
I
30 Cokes.
the dining experience. But here's the thing: you get all these options.
Yeah.
You know, eating there's one thing is not a problem on a cruise ship. Finding food.
No,
it is
no.
easy.
And
Great
the third
pizza.
day, we just went to the buffet, and it was great.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
pizza,
and-
it was amazing at that place.
Really, really good stuff.
Good stuff,
And,
yeah.
Anything else, Josh, as
No,
far as the positives?
Yeah, no, my favorite part was hanging out with listeners late at night and stuff. And I think there was one part where I sat down with Rob and Carrie for probably about an hour until anyone found us on the back of the boat, and that was
nice.
probably my favorite part of the cruise was hanging out with them.
It was something that I would do in a heartbeat.
I got
is,
that from
is cool.
every listener too. I mean, the fact that
we may have discovered our way of doing
There
things.
may
Now,
be-
do I want to do it next year? I don't know.
No.
You know, it's
Mike, if we cruise during the week, then you've got like 4 shows to do.
You mean like a 7-dayer?
Yeah, I'm saying we did Tuesday show. What if
Right.
we just did Monday show, Tuesday show, and Wednesday show?
in a row.
No, I'm saying instead of the game show night, we could have done a second show.
You work me to death, don't you?
Well,
you really
it's-
do. I like doing one show in front of people.
I gave you Monday off.
I know you did. I
I gave
appreciate
gave you
that.
Monday off.
That's
The
that's
day
how he
that
looks at it.
everyone and their
He
mother
is-
was
look,
traveling.
everybody that's been in Josh's role, that's kind of the taskmaster role. It really is. It's the way it goes. I like the way we did that, and I would maybe, I'm not sure too. In that environment, there's too many
told
distractions.
Carrie, I told her, I said that this, as far as a social experiment, it worked.
Yes.
All the listeners on a boat was that was just
And the time
great.
frame, I wouldn't want to do longer than that many days.
I don't know. Carrie
I
and
feel
I thought
imprisoned.
about, as we were laying in bed listening to the thumping bass of the Tiki Tiki Miami bar that was 8 feet from our room.
Yeah, you didn't get the choice room.
No,
Sorry.
we had a lady who yelled a lot. A DJ lady.
Yeah, I
that
heard,
yelled
by
a
the way,
lot.
I heard that lady the last night.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
At one point, Carrie and I were making up a biography for the lady that was screaming on the deck.
Way to get through it. Way to
And
get
what
through
we-
it.
What we decided is that she was older. She was maybe just over 60, and she'd been with MSC a long time. And she has just amazingly blonde-colored hair that you wouldn't expect. But it's beautiful. Her face is at best described as craggy, and she is still with the company because she's been with the company for so long.
Oh, you
She
think it
didn't
was an
start out as-
employee, huh?
Oh, guaranteed. She was
Yeah.
never a disc jockey early on. She was like a greeter and a person that would
A
make
little
things
loud
happen.
on Sunday night.
Yeah,
That's the
but-
kind of ship it is. It's a
It's a party ship.
It's a I don't know. They categorize them. There's premium, then there's family, then they're all different.
Well,
I've been doing a lot of
It
research.
wasn't Carnival. Carnival is don't sleep, fight over the chicken fingers.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And Mike, when you're doing,
Would you do it again? I'll ask all of you. Would you do it again, Rob?
Carrie and I decided that the trip would have been perfect with one more day at sea and one less event, and we would have loved it because it
Josh,
did seem
what
like
about
by
you?
the time
Day
I was
off.
done.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it was a great way to do the show.
I would do it again. Let's
I do
take a survey
100%.
and see what happens. We may do it. Maybe do it sooner than later.
Every
You never know.
listener, I think, told me afterwards, let's do it again next year.
Okay.
I got
all right.
told
That's
so
We
many
really
times.
should check. We should check with Dan Ware.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people had a good time.
I picture his face. I didn't always know who he was, but
right. I knew
yeah.
his name going into it. Right.
Got some news coming up, but first I want to tell you to get ready for the holidays. Look, it's a hassle. Selecting great wine to make you merry and bright should not be a hassle. Naked Wines is the sponsor of today's showgram, and they're pouring out a deal you can't ignore. They connect you directly to the world's best independent winemakers, so you get world-class wine delivered right to your door for up to 60% off store prices. No middlemen, no nonsense, just incredible wine. Use TMOS, the code, at nakedwines.com. You get $100 off your first order. That's 6 bottles for just $39.99. I drink it. I love it. Every bottle's better than the last. Naked Wines, because life's too short for bad wine. Let's all head to nakedwines.com/TMOS. You click enter voucher and put in TMOS for both the code and the password. Easy to remember. Just TMOS for both of them. $100 off your first order. 6 bottles, $39.99, shipping included. $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/TMOS. And remember, code and password for 6 bottles, $39.99, ladies and gentlemen. Man, oh, Manischewitz, it was such a great time, and thanks to everybody. Hey, before we get to the news, I want to mention Carla wanted me to come in and say we have 7 of these little suckers left for Christmas.
Oh, the
and
ornaments,
if you order your ornament today, there are only 7 of them. They're going to go today. If you order it today, Carla said, this is from her lips to your ears.
Right.
There will be a lovely little prize included. A little special something
Question.
extra to hang on your tree. Not to hang on your tree. It's
Just
included
to
with the
have,
ornament, and I don't know what it is.
If you
There it
order
is.
all 7 ornaments, do you get 7 prizes?
Yeah.
Oh, then, buddy, do
But
it.
they're the same prize.
That's
I
all
would
right.
assume. I don't know.
Quantity is marvelous.
You're
Also-
making you're what I like to call diluting the message here, ladies and gentlemen.
There's
You
7
are.
ornaments left.
That's
Yes.
it.
And if you order a cookbook today, you get one. Because there's only 5 left.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. So there's nothing bonus for the cookbook.
Nothing
The
bonus,
cookbook
5
itself is a bonus. That's the way that
It is a
goes.
bonus.
A bonus, yes. A lot of things going on here, okay? Yes, sir. At least my mouth's not dry. Let's start, ladies and gentlemen, with a new law. And look, I think Australia sometimes has it all over us when it comes to the way they legislate. I
Well, they're
think
a
they have
penal
their
colony,
act together.
Mike. That's how it started. They are rule oriented.
Well,
they sent all
it
the
seems-
villains and crooks there.
Listen to this. A new law went into effect for Australia today that bans all social media for kids 15 and under. They're the first country in the world to do it. It includes age restrictions on all the major platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, even YouTube. The accounts disappeared overnight. Companies face steep fines if they don't deactivate kids' accounts, and they have to take reasonable steps to keep them from setting up new ones. The law passed last November, so they've had a year to figure it out. A poll found 77% of Australians support the idea. You probably get similar numbers in the United States if they
I
do it.
remember a few years ago they tried it, but it was shot down because Epstein said, "How is he going to meet chicks?"
In the United States, you're talking about.
And
Yeah,
in
exactly,
the
yeah.
United States, they ruin it because they're trying to pass that same law in Florida, but there's a parental exception where you just need the parent permission.
Yeah,
In
it's,
Australia, parents can't get around it because here every parent would end up giving approval to because the other parents have.
And to
Dan's,
give the kids off their back too.
Fans of the legislation think it'll get kids off their phones, encourage them to hang out in person again. Other people think it'll backfire. That's the smaller number of human beings. Plenty of kids will just find a way around it, according to experts, like convincing an adult to set up an account.
Yep.
A writer for the Washington Post even found a Reddit thread where kids talked about buying realistic masks on Temu to fool the verification systems.
no.
That's funny. Anyway, either way, anyone under 16 has never lived in a world without social media. So it's a big deal for them, and there's a chance the idea could spread. Other countries are paying close attention to see how it goes. I know the United States should be. Yeah.
And it's like how baseball runs rules out in the minors first, because then those people get used to it. The only people trying to get around it are going to be the 15-year-olds that get kicked off now.
Yeah.
The 10, 9, 8-year-olds that don't have it will just grow up never expecting it.
I hope it works. I kind of believe it. Look, the no phone experiment that we do during the week with Michael, instantaneous. Folks, if you haven't done this, to keep your kids, keep it down to a dull roar. The drill with Michael, he turns his phone in to us during the week. We give it to him 5 o'clock on Friday. He uses it for the weekend. It's hard to describe how much better it is. And I think this falls into that category.
And she hates it.
Well, she's a grown-up, so don't worry about it.
And Vegemite, still legal in Australia?
Vegemite sandwich, there you go. Australia's Prime Minister supports the law, called it one of the biggest social and cultural changes they've ever faced. I like Australia and the way they do it. I say,
I like it.
Yay, yay for all of them. GameStop held its first ever Trade Anything Day this past Saturday. And the idea was that you could bring in almost anything you want. And
we will allow you to trade anything.
And you'll get some store credit to use. Plenty of people participated, and the employees had to deal with a lot of weirdness. I got 5 here.
These are actual things?
Yeah. Someone brought in a speed limit sign. It was 20 miles an hour. They got store credit for it. Used Air Jordans.
How much? Does it say how much they got for these things?
Let me see. I think maybe it was like $9 of store credit or something.
I think that's cheap. I would pay $20 for a good sign.
Used Air Jordans. I don't know what the condition of them was, but they were there. A creepy doll collection. That was one of the things turned in.
Keep it.
Here are my dolls. Taxidermied animals, including a bobcat and a goose. Not a plastic goose like Jimmy Cerrito has. And here we go. Do you remember Las Vegas last year? A tiny Jesus. A Sharon Bailey.
Genius, yeah.
Give me money. Sharon Bailey, tiny Jesus. Yes, sir. Sharon Bailey, the most generous listener in the world. She knows she pissed me off so much at the casino that she gave me $100, maybe $200. I was very, very grateful. It did not help. It went away. It went right into the machine, unfortunately. Yeah. Yes, Josh, you were going to say something.
Well, she's the only one that walked away as a winner, I believe.
She did. She did, and she's a very generous lady. But sit next to her at a slot machine. You will take knitting needles and stab them into your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they were a thing. I'm talking, of course, about Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. I have skills. Pamela Anderson.
Are they still ringing this bell?
Pamela Anderson tells People magazine, quote, "If you must know, Liam and I were romantically involved for a short while, but only after we finished filming The Naked Gun." Now you're shaking your head. What's your problem with this?
Has it just started streaming?
Yeah,
is it on cable? Why are they promoting this? Because the very fact that they got together and now she's saying after the movie, now it means even less is a lie.
Did they just announce a sequel?
Yeah.
I don't know. She says they spent an intimate week at his home in upstate New York. But she added, quote, "I had my own room. Our assistants both came. Even family stopped by."
Yeah.
I saw she use her room.
I saw Liam Neeson on the boat, and he was really looking for some trim.
They spent time in his garden, went to a French restaurant where Liam...
Spend any time in her garden?
They went to a French restaurant where Liam introduced her as the future Mrs. Neeson. And Pam... even watched him chase a bear away from the breakfast window in his bathrobe.
This is such a lie. Why would anyone even jump on this? This is not true.
I like reading it.
I suppose.
But after the magical week, they, quote, went their separate ways to work on other films. They did reconnect when it was time to promote The Naked Gun, but it's not clear if they hopped back in the sack. Pam says, quote, "We were having fun. I always was laughing when people thought, Oh, that's a publicity stunt, Rob. That's her quote. I'm like, a publicity stunt? This is real. We have real feelings.
Oh, well, now I believe it.
She adds, quote, I adore Liam, but we are better friends in full honesty. I'm sure we will always be in each other's lives, Mr. Cynic. There it is.
Do you believe in that time between the date and when they reconnected for promotion that Liam was on a tremendous flight of antibiotics?
I am not sure. I think he was taking gummies, but I really don't know. Here's a new term. Have you heard it yet? Psychiatrists have coined it in a new book that came out this year. If you are not an extrovert or introvert, you might be an otrovert. Do you know this one? Otrovert.
No, I've never heard it.
It's not a mix of the two. The term for that is an ambivert, where you're one or the other or both in certain ways. Otroverts are different by definition. Otro literally means other. And the top sign you're one is constantly feeling like an outsider, like you never fit in. Now, are you calling Cynic too and say it's not real?
Yes.
Why?
Because someone always has to make a new label and a new thing where maybe you already fit
just
in
turned
one.
70 with that comment.
It's the Cynic Show.
They're always doing things and making things. And
Well, the guy who came up with it thinks he's one, and he's seen it in some of his patients, too. He says otroverts can be extremely social and well-liked. They're just more about the one-on-one and don't really connect with groups. He says otroverts tend to be independent thinkers who aren't emotionally dependent on what others think, so they're often renegades. He even thinks it might be the default setting we're all born with. Then we learn to be introverts or extroverts. Now, I think a combination of both. I think I'm an ambivert because I think I like to get up in front of people, but I also don't mind being to myself.
I think, Mike, actually, we are the same. I think we are what they called for years introverted extroverts.
Well, that's an ambivert.
Yeah, but I like the way it says with the two words because that makes sense to me. I don't know what an ambivert is, but
well,
I mean,
there's another kind of vert. We've got another kind of vert for our final story today. Finally, a former Jeopardy champ was arrested on 2 felony charges of peeping. Philip Joseph Joey DeCina. Josh, I actually did not look. I didn't do a visual search for this guy. Philip Joseph Joey DeCina from Raleigh, North Carolina, was busted for allegedly installing a camera in someone's bathroom without their knowledge. No details about Joey DeCina, DeSena, or the victim were released. DeCina is a 42-year-old development engineer who walked away.
Oh, good-looking guy.
$44,000. Well, the picture on the right, he looks like a perv.
Yeah.
He looks better in his mugshot.
$44,698 over 2 victories in November of 24. A recent champ. He returned in January for the Champions Wildcard Tournament, but didn't move past the semifinals. He posted $5,000 bond, will appear in court today. I'll take super pervs for 200, Ken. Ambivert, otrovert, introvert, pervert. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We got more show.
A lot of people were on 95, getting to the boat, and it says there when you go through, Raleigh, home of the peeper.
Peeper!
Hey,
everybody, this episode is powered by Incogni, your personal data's bodyguard. Clam bakes, I got news for you. Data brokers scoop up your info, names, addresses, even social security numbers. I'll be Workman from the library on Jerry Seinfeld. They sell it to whoever's winning, fella. Yes, sir, you. Whoever's paying, scammers, spammers, creepy marketers, you name it. That's why your phone won't stop ringing. Your inbox is a mess. Let me tell you, Joy Boy, identity theft is always lurking. Data breaches are way up, and statistically, breaches increase every time, every year, funny boy. Incogni fights back. They automatically wipe your data from over 230 brokers. Keep monitoring and push back when brokers resist. You stay off their list, period. With 4 flexible plans, their protection always fits you and your family, happy guy. And you're covered by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Bottom line, you want that? I'll give it to you. If your data's out there, you need Incogni. Incogni is an amazing partner. So if you like us, please check them out today. It would mean a lot, the world, frankly, the entire world. Use code TMOS at incogni.com/TMOS to get an exclusive 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Incogni.com/TMOS, INCOGNI.com/TMOS. I have an update.
Good.
The Chinese Temu Christmas lights that we were so happy to show you all have been discarded.
Now, did this happen upon return, or did this happen while you were a C?
Last night, Michael and I, was it last night that he had practice? What was that? It's Tuesday night, Monday night? Monday night, Michael had practice. Monday night, we came back, and it's always one of the joys.
Oh, look, we've gone to our file footage, Mike.
That's wonderful that you have file footage of them. I would estimate that when we pulled in Monday night, the brightness, which was not fantastic to begin with, had diminished to about 10%.
Do you
about
think
10%?
They are solar powered, which
Yes,
means
they
they
are.
take their energy from the sun.
I get very nice. Thanks for explaining that. I appreciate it.
Do you think that it was cloudy that day, and maybe that's why they didn't charge fully?
I don't know.
But does it open up into a larger light?
I don't know. There was plenty of sunshine on Monday.
You're in the sunshine state.
By the way,
burn marks in the yard.
I don't know. So when you're, I mean, if you've got a cloudy day, that doesn't necessarily impact
yes, it does.
It does?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, because it doesn't see the sun.
Well,
Yeah,
I threw
because
them
remember
away.
at night
I hated them. I hated them from the very beginning, so I threw them away. I didn't care for them.
You know what I would have done in
What?
a New York second? At nighttime, I would have put them in someone else's yard. So they woke up and there was glimmering lights in the house.
It is something that I perhaps was hasty, but here's the thing. They had lots of long string attached. They went into the yard. I do like to have the yard mowed
String
occasionally.
or wire? I mean,
Wire,
okay. So it'd
I've
be
got the
bad.
word on a string.
It'd be bad if it got severed.
Right.
Yeah,
And then they had that little solar thing you had to put away from the bushes.
They're
Facing
gone.
the ground. Yes.
Gone.
Gone.
Rob Spiewak, Trump wants to change the name of football. Tell me about that. I did not hear anything of this. I've been cruising,
I know,
so I
I
really haven't
understand.
been up on the very, very latest. Ladies and gentlemen.
President Trump says soccer is the real football. This was sort of big news over the weekend. So the American sport football should be renamed. And he announced, since soccer is the real football, and then he had actually
did
quoted this
at a World Cup event.
Yeah,
like the World
he's
Cup.
kissing up. Absolutely. He said, this is Trump's quote, "We have a little bit of conflict with another thing that's called football. But when you think about it, soccer is football. So there's no question about it. We have to come up for another name for the NFL stuff."
Oh, he didn't give us a name?
No, it really doesn't make sense when you think about it. He did not say he would change the name, but because of this, some suggestions popped up online. If you had to rename football,
I
what
love
would you
the
call
idea
it?
of, I love the concept of coming up with a name, but I mean, it's
Right.
so entrenched in the American psyche.
Right.
They had some
Well,
suggestions
you're
from
going to
people.
have to keep the NFL initials.
Oh, so it
Okay,
has to have
that's
an
good.
F in it?
I like NFL.
Yeah, I think you got to start with the F.
All right. Well, these are some suggestions
It's hard
that were
to do that.
floating around. Gridiron, just calling the game gridiron. What do you think of that?
Well, that doesn't fit Josh's rule
I
of
know.
keeping NFL.
And the NGL doesn't
Oh,
sound
I mean,
good.
not gonna lie. That's what the kids say in their text. Not gonna lie. NGL.
Actually, there's a Naples Community Hospital down here because I've talked to people about my recent hospital stay. I stayed at a place called Gulf Coast Memorial. One of the guys said NCH, Naples Community Hospital, it should be retitled Never Come Home.
That's great.
That's interesting. Yeah, even the old guys come up with pretty good jokes once in a while. And they say, so if you have, Josh, you really threw a monkey wrench in it by.
There's too much branding around the NFL.
Boy, national.
All right. Well, here
National
are some.
Fighting League. No, it's fighting. No,
We have no. These aren't F words, Mike. But let's see if you like any of them.
The gridiron.
I like the name gridiron.
Or just
That's okay.
calling it gridiron. Are you going to the gridiron game?
Yeah.
That's got a nice thing.
Pigskin. You play a nice game of pigskin.
NPL.
No.
No, pigskin's too,
Okay. Tackle football or American football. That's what they call it in Europe. American football. So it could be NAFL. DraftKings ball, which I think is nice. They could sponsor it.
What? Like get the sponsor in there? I don't like that at all.
Mike, what about hand egg or egg ball?
Like calling the football the egg?
Yeah, because it looks a little like
That's somebody that has never followed football at all that came up with that name, I think.
What about a Trump ball?
Trump. I like the idea of gridiron more than any other that you've had here. But
and I got some. I've got some sillier ones here. How about kickball? But that's been taken. Someone suggested if we're going to call soccer football, we might as well call football soccer.
I think if you simply called it tackle.
Yeah.
Tackle.
Yeah.
National Tackle League.
What about footy or footsie?
Footy?
National
What are you playing?
Footy League.
Hacky sack or something? That doesn't work for me necessarily.
How about National Touchdown League?
I like that. I like this one because some people call it
touchdown. Is that your own National Touchdown?
That's my own.
That's pretty good. I like National Touchdown.
Some people are saying end zone. I don't like that. What I like is this is probably voted number one by people that love ranch dressing. It's yard ball. Because you have to go 10 yards.
I do like yard ball.
Yard ball.
Yard ball.
Yard ball. All right. Well, that's enough of that. Listen, coming up, Josh and I are going to get involved in a discussion that we are both having at home. I've got some pretty interesting stuff for you, Josh, that I think you're going to like about e-bikes, ladies and gentlemen.
Elvis bikes.
I don't know how every middle school it all hits the same.
It's always the same. I want to tell you about Aura Frames. God, I love this product. It is without a doubt the coolest digital picture frame that's out there. People love it because it can be all about them. Note to self, send to sister today. The frame allows for unlimited free photos and video. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi.
Is so great because for years Kathy always gave you a picture of what she was going to give you, and now you're sending her an item full of pictures.
You can preload photos before they ship and keep adding them from anywhere, anytime. You can even add a message before it arrives. You can share photos and videos effortlessly straight from your phone all year long. Even better, every frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. Remember, you can't wrap togetherness. Is that yours?
Yes.
But you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by, or was it AIs?
No, not AI. I try not to use AI on the copy.
For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. By using promo code TMOS at checkout. That's AURAFrame.com. Promo code TMOS. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
When you send that off to Kathy, Mike, would you be kind? Would you be kind and include a picture of me?
Absolutely.
I'd love it.
A big, giant picture of your dome. That's what it's going to be.
And a dry mouth.
Josh and I are both saying no in our respective homes to our 12-year-olds because there is a passion for these 12-year-olds with e-bikes. And I have said to my kid, the primary reason that he's not getting an e-bike, and he had one.
Oh, that's right.
After he had one that was really not a well-constructed device and has fallen apart.
Wasn't it a D-bike, Mike?
It fell apart after he tried to modify it, and it's now useless. He wants another one.
That's the problem. The problem is they make e-bikes for kids, but that's not what our kids want. They want the ones that go 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, modifications are usually a bad idea. I remember my friend Brad made what he said was rocket fuel and put it in his Impala. And he said the Impala ran great for like 10 minutes. And
before the engine seized?
Then it never ran again.
Wow.
So
what did he put in the rocket fuel? What do you think he put in there?
You know what? I'll call him today and find out. But he had a 68 Impala, which was the longest car GM ever made. And we used to go everywhere in it. And one of the games he liked to play.
I think it was the longest two-door, right?
I think it was the longest production car, and I believe it was two doors.
I think it was a two-door, Chevy Impala.
One of the games, it was so indestructible. One of the games we used to play was go to the Marshall's parking lot in Tyson's Corner after hours and hit shopping carts at about 40 miles an hour.
With the car?
Yeah, it was great.
Boy, that's fun. I'd be right with you on that.
Yeah.
Listen, let me read this, Josh, and maybe this can inform your son if you paraphrase it for him. The worldwide sales and use of electric bicycles, e-bikes, have grown dramatically in the past decade, particularly among children and adolescents, becoming an increasing source of road traffic-related morbidity.
Oh,
That's
and
death.
mortality.
At least every week there's an article on Facebook about another kid in the area that got hurt on an e-bike.
Surgeons around the world have witnessed a serious pattern of e-bike related injury and death. E-bikes are regulated quite differently around the world, and laws governing their use vary by individual states in the U.S. In some municipalities, they are banned. Elsewhere, they are regulated as either bicycles, mopeds, motorcycles, or as motorized vehicles. What would that be, like a rascal scooter or something like that?
Yeah.
Like a,
In February of 2024, U.S. researchers reported a dramatic 49-fold increase in e-bike riders with head trauma. If you need any more to kick you over the top of this, that's nationally over the past 5
I'm
years.
curious.
The
Go ahead,
problem
Josh.
is the e-bikes are being treated and marketed as a toy when they're more like the dirt
vehicle.
bikes we grew up with. Where
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know it's we're getting into December. What is it? Today is the 10th? Yeah. Would there be time to get one for Carrie?
Once again, go knock your socks up. Not about kids, right?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yes, swing by Costco.
So this increase
helmet.
in head trauma, they attribute to lack of safety regulations like mandatory helmets, speed limits for e-bikes, and age restrictions. Across the U.S., lithium battery explosions in e-bikes are leading to fires. That's been reported as well. In 2023, 267 fires caused by lithium-ion batteries injured 150 people and led to 18 deaths.
Didn't Mickey Coachella almost lose his leg because of a vape explosion in his pocket?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So there it is. That's the situation with e-bikes, and I got no problem with the hard no on that particular subject. Are you getting beaten up about it? Like, it's all he wants. That's what he says. It's all he wants.
Same thing. And I've said no. We've got different issues because we've got the split custody. So if we say no,
so you'd have
that
to
means
buy two.
That's all. When we say no, that almost means the other parents will say yes.
Then you should buy
Okay,
the
so you don't have
helmet.
that coordination then,
Right.
with that. Oh,
No,
that's
they
a drag.
try to outdo. So,
Oh, boy.
but we're trying. We're fighting against it.
What
Okay.
would be great is if you could buy an chocolate boat. That you
Now,
could
Rob,
play
would you
with.
like to explain, since you seem to be, and
It's
this
one of my
is
favorites.
Rob
Well,
wanting to be a child. This
I
is
think
Rob wanting to live vicariously. He's living vicariously through Owen and Michael, both of our
I think
sons.
it's also that Rob saw my frustration over the chocolate boat.
Yeah, it was a great moment.
Go ahead,
that-
share, please.
Well, Josh, I think you should tell it because it's sort of your story, but
Well, I have had issues. I had issues the entire cruise where my card would not let me buy anything. I couldn't
Right.
play. I couldn't play in the casino. I couldn't do anything because my card would not set it up.
Because you didn't register when you got on the boat.
And then I'm
Right.
trying to. No, I did. And it says my card is registered to Kelly, and it says Kelly manages my card, and
Okay.
Kelly's credit card is on my
I
card.
get it. I get
So-
it. That can happen.
So
right.
at one point, I don't remember. I think it was Saturday night or Sunday night. It was probably
it was
Sunday night.
Saturday, I think.
And I think no, it was Sunday night because it was right before I came and saw Rob and Carrie. And
Okay.
I was in the stateroom talking to Kelly and explaining how my card doesn't work.
Right.
And at that moment, Owen burst in the door with this giant chocolate boat. I'm like, where did you get that?
Mike.
Well, Michael and I just bought these. And it is literally this big. And
That's one of the
see.
chocolate confections they had. A solid milk chocolate
Yes.
and white chocolate boat.
Mike,
So-
if it had been built by the M&M Mars Company, it would say on it, perfect for sharing.
Right.
But they each got their own.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I got to find out because I
No,
never
think they
saw
shared-
one.
I think they shared it.
They shared it? Okay.
I learned
Okay.
yesterday that they shared it.
was it
was
not
expressed-
on when he brought it to the room?
Yes, it was half gone.
Yes.
And
The South Beach deck, Mike, was gone.
it was
That's
right at
awesome.
that moment that I believe I made a comment about how I can't buy anything here, and he can run around and buy this chocolate boat
Because he's got the card that works.
because his card works, and I have like child safety things on my card or something.
Did you
That's
get
right.
any? Did you get an estimate, or did you ever price out the chocolate boat? Find
Dan
out.
Ware is in the comments saying they were $25.
Oh, that's a deal. That's a
wow,
deal.
Wow!
I have not
Oh, my
seen
God.
my bill from MSC, and I think that's good since I didn't put anything on it.
Yeah.
I would rather not see it.
I got mine. Carla was thrilled.
I
Let's
bet.
move on, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Rob, you got some beautiful video for
I
us
do, Mike, and
today.
it even has a little bit of a holiday flavor.
Well, 'tis the season.
It is.
And what's interesting is we haven't heard from our guy yet. You know, with the season, that
Well, I was
guy.
kind of hoping when I made the comment about how many days were there enough for Carrie to get an e-bike, I thought he might stop in,
And-
but maybe he's busy.
And
Okay.
maybe I just forgot that I have to press the buttons, not Rob.
Oh, I guess. I'm sorry because I am out of town. That's right.
Hey, there he is. Look
Yeah.
at that.
15 days for Christmas shopping, 15 days to fill the stocking. 15
Sure.
days for
Hello
Christmas
there.
shopping.
Only got 15 days more.
Nah, screw him.
Hi. Have
Hi.
you done your Christmas shopping? You better hurry up or...
You'll be sorry.
You
Thank
know what would be
you.
a great
Take back
Christmas
my-
present? A
What's that?
chocolate boat.
Oh,
there
there
it
it is.
Here's-
Like, oh my God! Look at the half-eaten chocolate boat. That
You know what
is
that
so
looks like?
great.
That looks like when the Titanic is almost done sinking and half of it sticking out of the water.
Well,
No,
I
it
like
actually
that the-
looks like the Titanic at the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. That's what it looks like.
I like
My
that they
God.
both ate from one side. Like each side.
Well, you want to
They
preserve
chewed
the
and the
boat
middle's
for as-
left.
Oh,
for
they're
as long
buds.
as you can. And Mike, I have to say, my favorite moment of the trip has been changed. It was when we played the Christmas countdown guy at the live show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people realized it
Yep.
and cheered. I
They
liked
loved that. That was
Thank
a
you,
good
guys.
moment for them. And by the way, Rob, you should know, saw the guy that commented on your golf, my golf story when you were punctuating it with your lack of golf knowledge. I believe the word was that guy is so effing funny. That's what he said.
Oh,
that's what Gary
correct.
said about you, or Sven, as he was used in the
Oh, I'm
story.
sorry. We meant
Sven.
to say Sven. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody,
Well,
we've all
thank you,
had those
Sven.
nights where you laugh until the sun rises, where conversations go deeper than you thought possible, and suddenly you feel closer to the people around you than ever before. That's the power of psilocybin. It opens doors. Got some right here. Let me see. This is S35. That's the company we're telling you about here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is called Floral Peaches. This is a tea, right, Josh?
Yes.
This is a tea we have.
It is.
The most trusted name in psilocybin products, S35. Schedule 35 is really what it's called. Whether you're microdosing for focus or you're taking recreational doses to reconnect with life itself, Schedule 35 makes the experience intentional, consistent, and safe, most importantly. These aren't party drugs. They are connection tools for your mind, your creativity, your relationships, and maybe even your soul. Head to schedule35.co and use the code TMOS for 15% off. That's schedule35.co and use the code TMOS for 15% off. Thank you and enjoy your trip. Get 15% off all orders with code TMOS at schedule35.co. That's 15% off at schedule35.co and use the code TMOS. Solid, everybody.
Hey, I like that. Some beautiful video.
Mike, if you're ever hosting a game show, I recommend that S35. It's great. Let's start, Mike, because it is Christmas.
Yes.
And I know you and I bemoan the fact that it's been a while since a great Christmas song has come out.
Okay.
I guess the last really great one Might have been Mariah Carey. Cher had one a couple years ago that was pretty good. But
No, it never had the legs that Mariah Carey
never
did.
landed, right? But there's a band called Radiohead, and if
Big
they
band.
did a Christmas song, it might sound like this.
Oh.
I think you'll enjoy it. You can sing along.
Watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout.
So scary.
I'm telling you why.
Does he get into the higher screaming?
Yes.
Okay.
He's making a living.
We got to stay with that if he's doing it. If he's sticking with that one.
Checking it twice.
Checking it twice.
I like when it gets to the lyrics. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I wish I was naughty.
Radiohead
I
singing
was
Santa
naughty.
Claus is coming to
You're so
town.
very naughty. Santa Claus is coming to town.
All right, that's enough of that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So
I
you
wish
can buy
you'd
that
gone
40
up to that real, you know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
why Radiohead is better than a parody band. They can do the high note.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
But that 45 is available at the MSCC side gift shop. So go check that out.
Right next to the chocolate boat.
Mike, let's say hello to our friends in Sarasota who had been, that's in Florida, isn't it?
I play a lot of, I don't play, but I go to a lot of Little League games up in beautiful Sarasota.
Well, I hope you weren't bothered by this nuisance because, Mike, it has been described as a nuisance. Growing around Sarasota is a 14-foot, 600-pound alligator.
Oh, no surprise.
Get on the leg. Everybody get on the leg. Get on the leg. Everybody, I need.
Look at this
I
thing.
I need
I
someone on that
assume
leg
they've
right
got
there.
his mouth taped.
No, pick it up.
They
Pick it
drugged
up.
him and taped his mouth.
Pick it
Yeah.
up.
But it's
Hold on.
it's over a quarter ton, and these 8
It's
people
8
have to pick him
guys.
up.
8 police officers picking them up.
That is amazing.
And say whatever you want.
Push up.
That's 8 guys struggling with the thing.
There you go.
I swear, man, they are dinosaurs. And we saw
They
it
are.
when we went to Gatorville or Gatortown or Gator World or wherever that was. It was scary stuff.
That was also our listeners moving the chairs around at the cocktail hour.
It was. Mike, were you aware that at the Kennedy-Trump Awards thing this weekend that KISS was given, Trump gave them the Kennedy Center Honoree Award? KISS.
Now hold on.
The band
So
KISS.
this Kennedy Center honors.
Yeah,
is
that
this
soon
now
will be the Trump honors. It's
is
not
this,
yet.
Okay, so but he decided. Is that his personal?
I would think he probably had something to do with it. But I love the fact that no matter what changes in this world, Gene Simmons is Gene Simmons. Always.
Good.
And are you familiar with the Turning Point halftime show?
I am not.
That is the right-leaning alternative halftime show for the Super Bowl this year, where they're going to have wonderful people to counter-program Bad Bunny. And it's going to be very American.
Unreal.
So they asked Gene Simmons if he'd like to play the Turning Point.
Would you consider, would KISS consider reuniting and playing one last time at the Turning Point USA Super Bowl halftime show? How much? It's negotiable. Says who? You're open to it though. Says who? It's not even a conversation until, before you have a conversation with anything, you go into a place where they sell cars.
This is on the
There's a
red
number up
carpet.
there. There's no talking before you see some numbers. Do you have a number? Of course. You can tell us that it's far more than you'll ever be able to afford in your entire lifetime.
So much for fluffy, easy questions. On
He
the
is so Gene Simmons that you can't help the originality of that man. He's one in a million. He is, and he's that way. And who would think that kind of a-hole answer would be lovable? But I find it lovable with Gene Simmons.
Mike, today,
How
before
much?
the day is out, I will say to someone, How much?
How much?
More
How
than
much?
you can imagine.
And of course, he continues to sound more and more like Benjamin Netanyahu and Jackie Mason.
Yes,
How
the
much?
love child.
There we go. How much? That's it. That more than you could ever imagine.
Mike, how much more show do we have? None more, because that is beautiful video.
Thank you very much, Rob. We appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode, everybody. Once again, our thanks to the MSC Seaside and MSC Cruises in general. They did a great job with us and our listeners. We are totally appreciative of them, but mostly those people that participated.
Yes.
Look, we hope we can get more of you on a TMOS cruise in the future. We had such a great time. We might very well do it sooner than later. It was that much fun, and thanks to everybody that participated. That's it. Got to get out of here. We'll be back with a brand new episode tomorrow. For Josh Roca and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
I think I need some water.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
If it'll help the show, I can get even fatter.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!